The Republic of Mordovia is a Russian federal subject located in the Volga Federal District. The administrative center is Saransk. The titular nation of Mordovia is the Mordvins, an umbrella term for the Urzias and the Mokshas. Mordovia is a region of Central European Russia where rivers, forests, and long-settled villages have shaped a quiet but deeply rooted cultural landscape. Lying in the Volga basin, west of the Middle Volga proper, it is characterized by rolling plains, mixed forests, fertile soils, and a dense network of rivers, especially the Moksha and the Sura. The land has supported agriculture for centuries, and even today much of Mordovia retains a strong rural character with small towns and villages spread across farmland and woodland rather than concentrated in large urban centers. The indigenous people of Mordovia are the Mordvins, a Finno-Ugric population made up of two closely related but distinct groups, the Urzias and the Mokshas. Each has its own language, traditions, and sense of identity, and both languages are officially recognized alongside Russian. While they share many cultural features, the Urzias and Mokshas differ in dialect, folklore, and historical development, and these distinctions still matter socially and culturally. Linguistically, they are related to other Volga Finnic peoples, such as the Mari and Udmurts, and more distantly to Finns and Estonians. Historically, Mordvin lands lay along important frontier zones between Slavic, Turkic, and Finno-Ugric worlds. Before Russian expansion, the Mordvins lived in loosely organized tribal communities, practicing agriculture, hunting, and crafts. From the medieval period onward, they came into increasing contact with Russian principalities, particularly through trade and missionary activity. Incorporation into the Russian state was gradual and uneven, intensifying between the 13th and 16th centuries. Unlike some other frontier regions, Mordovia did not experience large-scale, prolonged armed resistance, but the process still involved pressure to adopt Orthodox Christianity and integrate into Russian administrative structures. Christianization reshaped Mordvin society, though pre-Christian beliefs persisted for a long time beneath the surface. Traditional Mordvin religion emphasized nature spirits, ancestor worship, and sacred spaces, and elements of these beliefs survived well into the modern era, often blending with Orthodox practices. Over time, Russian settlement expanded, especially in towns and administrative centers, gradually shifting the demographic balance. By the imperial period, Mordvins were already becoming a minority in parts of their historic homeland. The Soviet era brought both recognition and disruption. Mordovia was granted autonomous status, first as an autonomous oblast and later as the Mordovian Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic. Soviet nationality policy promoted literacy and cultural development in Erzya and Moksha languages, producing literature, theater, and education in native tongues. At the same time, collectivization, repression, and industrialization profoundly altered traditional life. Mordovia also became associated with the Soviet penal system. Its remote areas hosted numerous labor camps and later correctional facilities, a legacy that still affects the region's reputation today. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Mordovia became a republic within the Russian Federation. Demographically, Mordvins now form a significant minority rather than a majority, with Russians making up most of the population, especially in cities. The capital, Saransk, has developed into a regional center with universities, industry, and cultural institutions, and gained international visibility during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Outside the capital, however, many places face population decline, aging communities, and economic stagnation as younger residents move to larger Russian cities. Economically, Mordovia relies on agriculture, food processing, light manufacturing, electrical engineering, and some high-tech production, particularly in Saransk. The republic lacks major natural resource wealth, which has limited rapid growth, but also spared it from some of the environmental damage seen in extractive regions. Rural life remains important, both economically and culturally, with farming and village traditions continuing to shape daily rhythms. Culturally, Mordovia occupies a subtle but important place in Russia's Finno-Ugric world. Erzya and Moksha cultural revival movements have worked to preserve language, folklore, music, and traditional dress, though language shift towards Russian remains a serious challenge. Festivals, folk ensembles, and academic institutions play a key role in keeping these identities visible even as assimilation pressures continue. Mordovia's story is not one of dramatic landscapes or violent upheavals, but of gradual challenge, endurance, and adaptation. It is a region where ancient Finno-Ugric roots persist beneath layers of Russian statehood, orthodoxy, and modern life. Quiet and often overlooked, Mordovia reflects the deeper historical fabric of the Volga region, where small peoples have survived for centuries by adjusting to shifting political and cultural tides without fully losing themselves. Like, comment, and share to support this channel. Subscribe for more hidden corners of the world.